Good morning, ladies and gentlemen. The hearing will be starting very soon. I'd like to request that if you have an inanimate object called a cell phone, if you can put it on silent mode, please, or vibrate mode. Half day, ladies and gentlemen. Good morning. This public hearing, sponsored by the Committee on Guam U.S. Military Buildup, Infrastructure, and Transportation, is hereby convened. On the agenda is Bill number 347-34 COR, introduced by the Honorable Senator Dennis G. Rodriguez, Jr., which is an act to designate Route 7, HALSEY Drive, and SPRUANCE Drive as Korean War Veterans Drive by adding a new subsection 849.13 to Chapter 8, Title 1, Guam Code Annotated, to pay special tribute to all veterans who served in the Korean War for the protection and freedom of liberty. In accordance with the open government law, the initial notice for this public hearing was shared with the community stakeholders on Monday, October 1st, and also the subsequent notice was disseminated to the stakeholders and to the public on Thursday, October 4th. I would like to extend an appreciation to our media partners who have assisted in making sure that, in fact, this notification was shared with the general community. So like I said, ladies and gentlemen, the sole item on the agenda is Bill number 347-34, and as I call the following individuals, if you're going to provide testimony this morning, I would like to invite the following individuals to join us up front. If you're going to provide oral testimony, Miss Felicita Napati, Patricia Diaz, Francisco Diaz, Julia Villagomez, Young S. Koo, Mr. Angoko, and Jesus Angoko. So if I can invite you, if you're going to provide oral testimony on Bill number 347, I would like to invite you to please join us in the panel up front. And before we proceed with any testimony, I would like to recognize the presence of the sponsor of Bill number 347, Senator Dennis Rodriguez, Jr., and also Vice Speaker, Acting Speaker now, Senator Teresa Lai. Thank you very much, Senators, for joining us. So I'd like to now open the discussion with Senator Rodriguez, providing some opening comments. And then, like I said, if there's anyone that would like to provide testimony, please join us up front. Senator Rodriguez, you have the floor.
Thank you very much, Mr. Chairman. Mr. Chairman, Bill 347-34 is an act to designate Route 7 as a Korean War Veterans Drive. This is to pay special tribute to all veterans who served in the Korean War for the protection and freedom of liberty. I must say that a few years ago, several terms ago, I introduced a measure as well to rename a certain highway to pay tribute to our Korean War veterans. However, that attempt didn't go anywhere, and so we're here back today. And I want to put on record that this effort is really driven by our Korean War veterans. Those of you, some of you who are here today, who are to testify in support of this measure, are really driven by them. You know, and it's I must say it's kind of you know, sad in a way that it's not being driven by others in the community who see the importance of recognizing our Korean War veterans. Although they're a very small community, 21 of them have paid the ultimate sacrifice, and it's imperative for us as a community to ensure that we pay tribute to them, pay tribute to those who are still with us today, by honoring them and naming this stretch of roadway in honor of them and the sacrifices they have provided to our community and to our country. And so I thank you, Mr. Chairman, for your swift scheduling of this public hearing, and we look forward to the testimony of those here this morning. Thank you.
Thank you very much, Senator Rodriguez. We will begin with Tunben Angoko. Mr. Angoko, if you can just identify yourself for the record and then proceed with your testimony, please.
Thank you, sir.
Consiga.
I know, but is he the chairman or you? Okay. Mr. Chairman and member of the Guam Legislature, buenas and half a day. My name is Ben Angoko. I am from Maina. I am 91 years old, and I am a Korean War veteran. I fought in Korea. Senator, I don't believe in too much talk because it only confuses the issue, but I'm going to put it together because I know that whatever I say, you will understand me. You're all intellectual people up there. On Route 8, you name Purple Heart. On Route 10, you name Vietnamese American veterans. You ask yourself this question: what does this organization bring back to Guam? What does it benefit you as a whole? The Korean War veterans, in my book, is the most beneficial organization in Guam. It brings back the organic act of Guam, and it brings back the American citizenship of Guam. I know that some of you forgot already when you become an American citizen, but that's okay. That is not why we are here for. When I was in Honolulu in 1952, I read an article that when President Truman learned that the people in Guam are fighting in Korea and they are not American citizenship, so he asked the Congress make them American citizenships. So that is how we become an American citizen, through that Truman instruction. Since I mentioned the Organic Act and the American citizenship, if I am sitting up there on that chair, I will find a way to abolish the holiday, the weekend holiday, and declare the Organic Act and the American citizenship holiday. But of course, that is not why we are here for. Because when you look at it, the independence was not born in America. It was born somewhere else. And they brought it into America. And when they get to America, the people are all very happy. They were happy. They enjoy. So they set aside one day and they declared holiday. And all over the world, under the American flag, is holiday. We can do that also here. But of course, that is not why we're here for. So, if the legislature and the governor get together, they have no problem naming the Route 7 Korean War. I believe that the Route 7 should be named Korean War Veterans. Route 7 deserve to be named Korean War Veterans in honor of those men that were sacrificed their life for our freedom that we are now enjoying it. What we are asking is nothing, not a penny for the legislature or for the government. We are not asking a penny for it, you know. So I have no problem with that. I don't know how you're going to have problem with that also. So therefore, that is why I said, since there's no money involved in those things, then I'm sure that there's no problem naming it under the Korean War veterans. But don't think of us living. Think of those people that sacrificed their life for us. I am here representing those 20 people that are. Think of them, but not us here. So I will, at this time, I would like to acknowledge the presence of the Korean community presence here. Ms. Young and Mr. Mike, the rest of the Korean community, I like to acknowledge their presence for you there. I would like to end my talk in Chamorro. Si Diyos maasi, da si Diyos ang pambinindisi, gikareran mito. Thank you.
Si Diyos maasi Ben. Would it fit the tomu? Okay. Ms. Young, and like I share with everyone in the audience, if anyone else would like to provide testimony this morning, please join us up front at the table. Ms. Young, you may proceed.
Hello, my name is Mrs. Young Suk Gu Hong. I am the Korean and living here on Guam 40 years. I'm just here the other day. Mr. was calling me to support the bill, and I am here to support the bill number 347-34. Support them for all of the bill. Also, that I wanted to say our Korean community. You know, today that me and only two other guys here, but we are not sure what kind of bill was exactly. And today then I'm here and I'm supposed to be bring more Korean to be support on this, and I feel sorry for them. On Guam residents, all our Koreans, they would like to thank you for all their support on Korean wars. And many of them here, most of them is when they were in Korean War, 18 and up, and their age is right now 80 and over, and some of their husband has been passed away, and their whole family is here. The first of all, I wanted to say thank you for them for supporting Korean wars. I'd like to give them a big bow. I believe many of the Korean War veterans are older than 80 and up. If we designated to Route 7 to be Korean War veterans, we'll give them the honor of all their support on Korean War. And we, Korean community, fully wanted to thank you for them and support this bill. If Korean president and the Korean woman's not here, I already told them that we will be supporting them. So, sponsored by Senator Dennis Rodriguez to put it in this bill for the Korean War veterans. You know, thank you for that. And all the senators that are here today, I hope we support on this bill to pass, to put it in Korean War veterans for their honor was their Nobel community. Thank you. This is my short comments.
Thank you very much, Ms. Young, for your testimony this morning. Sir, you can identify yourself for the record and proceed.
Good morning. My name is Mike Soderquist. Actually, I wasn't planning on speaking this morning, but thank you for the opportunity. I'm here to support Bill number 347-34 to rename a highway to honor the Korean War veterans. I don't know if you know this, but I've had over the last couple weeks the opportunity to meet with several of the Korean War veterans and their spouses. Just last week, there was a lady by the name of Hannah Kim visiting the island, and we put on an event for the Korean War veterans. She is actually the ambassadress for the Korean War Veterans Association. And again, she was here to basically raise awareness of the Korean War veterans and the commitments that they made and the sacrifices, excuse me, that they made. And one thing that you always hear about the Korean War is there's a term called the forgotten war. You know, you hear about World War II, World War I, Vietnam War, but you don't hear much about the Korean War. And that's kind of what she was doing here on island, and she was actually been doing this for the last 2 years, Hannah that is, been traveling to all 50 states to honor the Korean War veterans, and she actually visited all the countries that participated in the Korean War. And the reason she was doing that was to raise the awareness and give the credit to the Korean War veterans. And I think that this bill, if it's passed, would do that to honor the Guam Korean War veterans. And obviously we see some here today, but I just found out last week that there are, I think, roughly 2,800 Korean War veterans here on island. Again, I think the total number that made the ultimate sacrifice was 20, but I think this is something that should be done to honor the Korean War veterans here on Guam. Thank you. Thank you.
Thank you very much, Mike, for your testimony. Anyone else would like to provide testimony this morning on Bill number 347-34? If not, I'd like to yield to the sponsor of the legislation, Senator Rodriguez.
Thank you again, Mr. Chairman. I want to thank everyone, Uncle Ben. Thank you for being here, Mrs. Hong, to Mike. And to all of you here who really have supported this effort, and I want to apologize it's taken so long. You know that we've tried to do this many years ago. We're going to do this attempt again now. But just to be clear that the highway, the road that we are renaming is the road from Snake Road, which is known as Snake Road, which comes through the Naval Hospital, the Government House, and all the way down to where the Superior Court and I think the Academy area, that intersection there, and that's what we're naming. Is that correct, Uncle Ben?
Tun Ben, por favor, usa funny mic.
From Superior Court all the way up to Mong Mong in front of the Agana Mayor's office.
Yeah, that's Route 7,
and
right?
all the way up to the intersection of Route 8.
Hanggang sa Tipareo 2. Matalaika, Tun Ben, the Senator Rodriguez was saying the road along the Government House to the Governor's office.
Whatever.
Yes. Okay. Thank you. That's right. And so, you know, just for the record, we've met with Uncle Ben and the other veterans, and that's how this bill came about. But at the end of the day, it's to recognize the sacrifices that you all have given to our country and to our island, and for those 21 of those who have paid the ultimate sacrifice. And so again, Sidus Masit for your service, and to all of you for being here today. Thank you very much.
Thank you very much, Senator Rodriguez, and certainly extend my personal appreciation for continuing to recognize our veterans, and in this particular case, highlighting and memorializing by virtue of naming one of our streets after the Korean War veterans. So I certainly endorse the legislation. Madam Vice Speaker, Acting Speaker.
I just wanted to say thank you also for your testimony, for all of you who are here today, and for your support of the bill. I just wanted to find out if the term San Ramon Hill is, I see we have testimony from the PD mayor, but none from the Agana Heights mayor, but I would ask that that be included, and I'm just not sure about that one hill. But otherwise, yeah, I understand Snake Road, and it goes all the way down to that intersection at Tutuhan. Okay. I'd also like to, if you could, Mr. Chair, recognize the others who came in after we began.
If I can ask the veterans as well as their spouses, if you can please stand so you can be recognized. Por favor. That's Jesus Masi por defender tomo. Thank you very much. Unless there's any other testimony, the committee will continue to receive comments and written testimony until close of business on Monday, October 15th. So please, ladies and gentlemen, take note, and then subsequent to that, the committee report, this legislation will be reported out of the committee. So for all of you who have tuned in to this particular public hearing or who have taken your time to be able to join us this morning, thank you very much. This concludes this hearing. Thank you.
Thank you.